The woman knew that her husband had AIDS, but instead of panicking, she even asked the doctor to keep it a secret. 3 months later, the doctor told her that her husband's condition was beyond cure. The woman instantly showed a satisfied smile. It turned out that in her previous life, the woman had learned that her husband's first love, Mary, had AIDS, so she stopped her husband from having children with Mary. Unexpectedly, the husband believed the woman was lying and even misinterpreted Mary's death as being caused by depression. Later, the man even tricked his wife's entire family to a cliff and cruelly made them die with Mary. When the woman woke up again, she realized she had been reborn a year earlier. Her husband came home to discuss with her the day he wanted to have children with Mary, given a second chance at life. The woman decided not to stop the man from walking toward his own death. Sure enough, the man soon came to the woman, guiltily saying he wanted to have a child with Mary. The woman agreed without hesitation. The man questioned why his wife agreed so readily. The woman understood it was his pride at work. She said it wasn't that she didn't value him. It was just that Mary had once saved his life, and now her child urgently needed a bone marrow transplant to survive. So it was only right for him to give her a second child. Hearing this, the man let down his guard. He promised that he and Mary would conceive through IVF and would absolutely never betray the woman. Then the man added that during this period he needed to divorce her first. Before he even finished speaking, the woman eagerly agreed. She even thoughtfully said that divorce required a 1-month cooling off period and suggested that he and Mary could start preparing for IVF first. Overjoyed, the man didn't doubt her for a second and said he would take Mary to the hospital for a checkup right away. That very day, the woman received photos from a private investigator showing the man taking Mary to a hotel. Half a month later, the man brought news that Mary was pregnant. The woman knew IVF took at least 2 months of preparation, but she didn't expose his lie. Then the shameless man said that Mary's eldest son's condition had worsened, so he wanted to hold a grand wedding with Mary to ward off bad luck, and naturally expected the woman to pay for it. The woman realized they truly thought she was a fool. She decided to use the wedding as an opportunity for revenge. The man's meager salary could certainly not cover the cost of the wedding, so she lied that her company had a major project recently, and all the working capital had been invested, so she couldn't help pay for the wedding for now. The woman knew he was too proud to borrow money, so she suggested that Mary borrow from relatives, saying she would make it up to them once the company's funds came back. The man believed in his wife's love for him and left without any suspicion. 2 months later, the doctor came to the woman saying that the man's physical exam showed he had AIDS. After learning that the man was still in the early, treatable stage, she told the doctor she would take him for treatment, but asked the doctor to keep it secret for now. But 3 months later, the doctor anxiously came to the woman, asking if the man was really receiving effective treatment and why his condition had worsened so badly. The woman coldly said, "Isn't he beyond cure now?" The doctor helplessly replied that the man's illness had fully erupted and he could die at any moment. The woman showed a satisfied smile, saying it was time for the man to know the truth. Then she went to the wedding venue of the man and Mary. The woman hadn't expected Mary to be so vain. She had even borrowed $4 million from relatives just to hold a respectable wedding. Seeing the woman attend the wedding, Mary secretly mocked with the man that the woman must not trust him. The man impatiently walked up to the woman and questioned her, saying she had clearly agreed to divorce him. Why had she been delaying signing the divorce papers? The woman immediately took out the prepared divorce agreement. The man happily took it, ready to sign, but was shocked to find that she was making him leave with nothing. He angrily accused the woman, saying she had clearly promised to cover the wedding cost, that Mary had borrowed $4 million, and now she was making him leave with nothing. How could they possibly pay it back? The woman couldn't be bothered to pretend anymore, saying the man had betrayed their marriage and should leave with nothing. The man shamelessly claimed that she had originally agreed for him to have a child with Mary, so saying he had betrayed the marriage was pure slander. Mary also said that she and the man had done IVF, and there was nothing improper between them. Unable to bear it any longer, the woman slapped Mary to the ground, then threw the photos of them going to the hotel onto the floor. Seeing that the woman had evidence, Mary shamelessly said, since the woman had already agreed for them to have a child, what was wrong with choosing natural conception? The man also arrogantly threatened the woman, saying if she didn't give him half the property, he would never sign the divorce agreement and would keep living in the villa with Mary. Hearing this, the woman didn't waste another word, saying if he didn't sign, she would report him for bigamy. The man looked at her in disbelief, saying she would never have treated him like this before. Holding back her pain, the woman said, "I was good to you before because I loved you. I gave everything for you. And how did you treat me?" The man closed his mouth in shame, but Mary had completely lost all shame, saying the woman was rich enough. So what was wrong with giving them a little? The woman didn't want to argue anymore, and immediately ordered her assistant to call the police. The man quickly grabbed the divorce agreement and signed it. He angrily accused the woman, saying she would never get his forgiveness in this lifetime. The woman mocked him, saying, "You've already contracted AIDS. Why would I need your forgiveness?" The man, shocked, shook off Mary's hand.